Hey guys, it's your boy Jesse. I hope everyone's well. Back at you with another video. Of course, it's 10:21 here in the UK, according to my laptop. Anyway, I thought I'd make a video about my dreams to support African game makers in technology, like video game makers and video game makers and game system makers, game makers, and that sort of thing. I've talked before about how I'd love to support Africa in technology, and I know I've done a few videos today about football, so I thought I'd go into this sort of dream about Africans making video, like I say, video games and PC games and all sorts of games to do with technology, or which involve technology. And I know traditionally, like Japan, as far as I'm aware, is the #1 place, really, pretty sure, for game development, game making and stuff like that, and consoles like the Super Nintendo and Sega and Sony and companies like that. So I'd love to, I think it's called TICAD or something like that. I don't know what the acronym stands for, but it's basically Japan and Africa trading, sort of where they meet up and trade together and things like that. So I'd love to support a network between Japan and African countries where Japanese game makers help Africans to develop their own games, and possibly also people from America and elsewhere help African developers to make games and stuff. I know there are already some people, just like in other areas of technology, making games in Africa. So I hope to expand upon that and help Africa to become possibly the #1 for game making by 2030, or preferably ASAP, preferably even before, maybe even within 5 or 10 years or whatever, but obviously 10 years would be 2030. So I thought I was wondering whether I should talk about a bit more about football, further football ideas and things like that, but I thought I'd do stuff about the African game development. And I thought of, as I've talked before about being an Italian football fan, just to mix it up a bit and make it interesting. But I'd love to make, for people from Africa to make games, like, for instance, I was thinking of like games which are named after Italian teams like Juventus. So there could be specific games just called like Juventus or Lazio or the different teams in Italy, and those would be like where it helps to raise the brand of Italian football at the same time, but also helps African game developers. And I haven't really planned this video that well, but I hope people out there are interested in the idea. And I'll say, with the trade between Africa and Japan sort of networks, I think one of the things the African countries could ask for is like Japanese companies or Japan's government to offer tax incentives to their companies to teach people in Africa about game making, so that in return for trade deals and things like that. But yeah, in the future, I'd love to see Africans developing great games. And one of the ideas I came up with was like the game station, which would be like the PlayStation, but specifically for like sort of hubs to train African game makers to develop games for like especially for game systems, like for Sony, or maybe even start their own companies and learn to do that and that sort of thing. Anyway, I'd love to know what you think about this video. Like, do you think my ideas are a bit in this case, again, as I know I often repeat this, but do you think my ideas are a bit naive, or do you think Africa can lead the field in game making? And I suppose, do you think that Japan and African countries can come to an agreement about how Japanese companies can help African people from Africa to make games, and what do you think they should ask for in return, like the Japanese government or companies? Like maybe if Sony or companies like that, or whoever made Nintendo or Sega or whatever, if those people are still alive or whatever, but, or if people who are involved in that could, or anyone in Japan who knows how to make games could teach people in Africa, maybe like people from Africa in the future could work for those companies as well, so it benefits them mutually. Or the Japanese, or Japan as a country could get some sort of deals with trade or development or access to markets or whatever other deals. So as I say, I'd love to hear what you think, and can't think of too much else to say at the moment, but probably going to make a cup of tea in a minute. Anyway, I hope you like this video. Please leave any comments. Peace out.